I turned 54 last month, and I sat at my kitchen table that morning, just quiet, with a cup of coffee going cold. I had $25,000 sitting in a savings account, more money in one place than I had ever had in my life. And I didn't feel good about it. I felt scared because I didn't know what to do with it. And I was starting to think that not knowing at my age was the real problem. So let me just tell you where I am right now. Honestly, I work a regular job. I'm not going to tell you the exact salary, but I'll say it's somewhere around $62,000 a year. I've been doing it for 9 years. It's stable. I'm grateful for it. My rent is $1,450 a month. I have a car payment of $310. A few small bills. Nothing unusual. After everything, I save maybe $600 to $700 a month. Some months less. Some months I move money around just to make it look better than it is. That $25,000 came from a combination of things. A small inheritance when my mother passed 2 years ago. Some money I had just managed to hold on to over time. And a tax refund last year that I didn't touch. It's been sitting in a basic savings account at a local bank, earning almost nothing. Maybe 0.4% interest, a few dollars a month. And for a long time, I told myself that was fine, that at least it was safe. But here's the thing I don't talk about much. I've made a lot of mistakes with money. Not dramatic ones, not losing everything overnight. Just the quiet kind of mistakes that you don't even notice until you look back. In my late 30s, I had a decent amount saved. Not $25,000, but close. And I made a decision to pull most of it out to help start a small business with a friend. It felt like the right thing at the time. We were excited. We had a plan. The business didn't survive 2 years. We parted ways okay. No falling out. But the money was gone. And I was 42 with almost nothing saved again. I told myself I'd recover quickly. I didn't. The other mistake was simpler and maybe more embarrassing. For years, I didn't have anything going into retirement. Not a single dollar. My employer offered a plan. I just never signed up. I kept thinking I'd do it later. Later kept moving. I finally started contributing at 49, which means I lost almost a decade of time that I can never get back. I think about that a lot. Not with regret exactly, more like a quiet awareness. A reminder that small delays cost real money. But something happened recently that made me stop and actually think. A coworker of mine, she's around my age. Maybe a couple years older, she retired early. Just like that. Quietly, I asked her once, not to be nosy, just out of genuine curiosity, how she had managed to do it. And she said something I wasn't expecting. She said, I just stopped letting money sit still. That was it. Nothing complicated. No big secret. She just said she always made sure every dollar had somewhere to go. I've been thinking about that for months now. If any part of what I'm saying sounds familiar, if you've had money sitting somewhere and you're not quite sure what to do with it, I'd genuinely love to hear from you. Just drop something in the comments. Where you are, what's on your mind. I read them. I really do. So I started doing something I hadn't done in years. I started paying attention. Not obsessing. Not panicking. Just paying attention. I looked at that $25,000 and I asked myself a simple question. What is this money actually for? And I realized I didn't have an answer. I had just been saving without any real direction, which felt responsible. But it wasn't really a plan. It was just fear dressed up as caution. I didn't want to invest it all and risk losing it. I didn't want to leave it all in a low interest account and watch inflation slowly eat away at it either. I was stuck in the middle. And that middle place, that's where a lot of people my age live. Too nervous to move. Too uncomfortable to stay. The realization wasn't dramatic. It was just a quiet moment of honesty. I had been avoiding a decision. And avoiding it was its own kind of decision. Then I started reading. Not financial books. Not articles full of jargon. Just real stories from real people. And I came across this idea. Not new. Not revolutionary, that you should think of your money in buckets. One bucket for emergencies. One for short-term things you know are coming. One for the longer future. That framing changed something for me. Because instead of looking at $25,000 as one big intimidating number, I started seeing it as a few smaller, more manageable decisions. So here's what I'm actually doing. And I want to be clear, this isn't advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what I decided for myself, based on where I am. I'm keeping $10,000 in savings. That's my emergency cushion. enough to cover roughly 6 months of basic expenses if something goes wrong. That money isn't going anywhere. It's just there to help me sleep at night. The next $8,000, I moved to a high-yield savings account. It's still safe. It's still accessible. But it's earning closer to 4.5% right now instead of almost nothing. That's not a fortune. But it's a real difference over a year. The remaining $7,000, that's the part I thought about the longest. I decided to put it into a simple index fund through a retirement account I already have. Not individual stocks, not anything complicated, just a broad fund that follows the market over time. And then I told myself I wouldn't look at it every week, because I know if I watch it too closely, I'll second guess everything. That's the plan. 3 parts. Nothing fancy. And yet even after making that decision, there's something I keep coming back to. What if I need that $7,000 before I expect to? What if something changes at work? What if I did the math wrong somewhere? I don't have a clean answer to that. I just have to sit with the uncertainty for a while. I'm curious whether you've ever been in that place, where you made a decision, you felt okay about it, but there's still this low hum of worry underneath, like you're waiting to find out if you were right. If you've navigated something like this, especially later in life, I really would like to hear how you handled it. Not the perfect answer, just what you actually did. I won't pretend I feel completely settled. Some mornings I wonder if I should have just left everything alone. Other mornings I feel like I finally did something I should have done years ago. It goes back and forth. What I do know is that doing nothing wasn't neutral. It had a cost. A slow, invisible cost. And at 54, I don't have the same amount of time I had at 40 to just wait and see. That's not a scary thought anymore. It's just honest. I think a lot of people my age feel this way. We're not at the beginning. We're not quite at the end. We're somewhere in the middle, trying to make the best decisions we can with what we have. And sometimes the best decision isn't the perfect one. It's just the one you can actually commit to and live with. That's where I am right now. Sitting with a plan I believe in and a little bit of doubt that I've decided to carry alongside it. In a few months, I want to come back and tell you how it's going. Whether the plan held up, whether I made adjustments, whether I panicked or stayed steady. If you want to be here for that, just follow the channel. You won't get noise. You won't get hype. Just honest updates as things actually unfold. And if this video felt like something a friend or family member needs to hear, someone who's been carrying a money worry quietly for a while, maybe pass it along. Sometimes just knowing someone else is going through the same thing makes it a little easier to breathe.